issues. But for clarification, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to understand, is the rule also going to envision putting a proposed constitutional amendment in order under suspension?
What we're looking to do is to extend the debate time so that we will be able to consider under suspension of the rules a balanced budget amendment to the Constitution.
Right. So we would bring a balanced budget amendment to the Constitution up under suspension of the rules.
Right.
Right.
That's the plan, and to do that after we consider this measure on the floor.
And I take it that because it's up under suspension, it would be not open to amendment. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay.
And but what we're looking to do, and the reason we're including this in the rule, is so that members on both sides of the issue will have an opportunity to speak. So we're looking to extend the debate time. That's the only provision we'll make beyond having it measure considered under suspension of the rules.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In that case, I'd just like to make a few points about that particular provision in the rule.
Okay.
And we went over this in some detail before, but I think it's worth revisiting, that this is no ordinary garden variety balanced budget amendment. What it really does is manipulate the Constitution, bias it in a way to plant the Republican budget proposal into the Constitution. Why do I say that? There are two provisions that do exactly that. Number one is the provision that says that you only need a majority vote to cut Medicare, a majority vote to cut education, a majority vote to cut Social Security, but you need a 2/3 vote to cut special interest tax breaks for the purpose of deficit reduction. It is undeniable that you are writing that bias into the Constitution. And for the last week, I've heard no justification for why we would do that. Why you would not allow the American people through the Congress to work their will in that way and put a constitutional obstruction that biases us in favor of cuts to education and Medicare, but not cutting special interest tax breaks for the purposes of deficit reduction. You want to put that in the Constitution. Second provision. Second provision is an 18% expenditure cap. Now, we should all understand that we have not met that expenditure cap since about the time Medicare was passed, because this country decided that it was worth providing some health security to people in their old age. And so since the mid-1960s, we have not had that level of expenditure. We've been higher. When you cap expenditures at that level, what you are doing is ensuring cuts to things like Medicare and Social Security. That's going to drive that. Again, you want to plant that in the Constitution of the United States, not allow the majority to work its will. And the irony is this. The last time we had a budget that was in surplus, was during the Clinton years. During the Clinton years, we had a budget in surplus. We had projected, we had a $10 trillion projected surplus at that time. No deficit spending, nothing. Under this twisted version of the constitutional amendment, that would have been unconstitutional. That surplus budget would have been unconstitutional because it was at 19% expenditures, not 18%. So under the mantle of fiscal conservatism, you want to implant in the Constitution of the United States a provision that would have made the last budget that was in surplus unconstitutional. I mean, that is just upside down logic.